Hey guys, Shadowz here, and today we're going to be discussing the possibility of seeing a Gears of War real-time strategy or strategy game as one of the Gears projects being worked on at Black Tusk Studios. From Rod Ferguson's tweet he made in March, if you haven't seen it already, he writes, Black Tusk are working on exciting Gears of War projects. So I'm going to just try and continue with guessing what they could possibly be working on alongside the new third-person shooter title in the franchise we expect is coming hopefully soon. Now personally, if you didn't know already, I actually really do enjoy strategy type games, being like my second favourite game genre after shooters. Playing games like Age of Empires and Halo Wars in the past, I just find that tactical gameplay very fun and fresh to me. With Gears of War the franchise, I can definitely see a strategy game being something that could be easily created just looking at the whole Gears of War universe. The game could be used to explore more of Sierra that we haven't seen so far in any of the Gears of War games so far, even taking like an in-depth look at the Pendulum Wars, which would actually be like a really good way of starting off a campaign for a strategy game. There could be so much that could be actually covered storyline wise, which wouldn't upset fans whatsoever because it would be a strategy game separate from the shooter games, and I think people who like Gears of War would just love the opportunity to dive into more Gears of War lore, and the strategy game would be the perfect way to go about it. So most strategy games have like multiple factions or teams that players usually play as or just against as enemies in both campaign and multiplayer, which of course the Gears of War universe has. Factions that could be available in a Gears of War strategy game could of course be the Cog and the Locust, but then you also have the UIR, the Stranded, groups of people like Paddock and Sophia Hendrick living in Halvo Bay after Judgment, who deem themselves as neither Cog or UIR but still as a striving, surviving community. And then finally you could also have the Lambent as well. What makes strategy games not just successful but enjoyable is the storyline for definite behind the game itself, which having a game based on the Gears of War universe of course makes perfect sense. Even if the main game's campaign just features playing as new characters, a part of the Cog in new areas we haven't seen in any of the games so far, new campaigns could of course be added just in the game in an unlock system or as DLC that could be featuring the UIR and just diving into what they deal with after Emergence Day when the Locust appear. Actually you have the ability to play as the Locust themselves, possibly inside the Hollow and underground during the Civil War, battling off the Lambent forces and their pandemic, and seeing more into maybe the origins of the Locust and then the years before Emergence Day occurs as well. And it's just there's just so many possibilities out of a strategy game for Gears of War. Make sure to leave me a comment down below. Would you like to see a Gears of War strategy game released in the future? And then finally, I think this is one game in genre Black Tusk could easily create a Gears of War game for, which would just allow people who enjoy strategy games overall the chance to experience the story and the universe of what Gears has to offer, and maybe convert them into full-time fans of the franchise. But it would also just be a great opportunity and chance, like I said earlier, just to dive into untold stories for any faction of the Gears universe that current fans haven't witnessed before in the shooter game so far. That would just expand upon Gears of War storylines, which any Gears fan, including myself and hopefully you, would love to see as well. So there you have today's video. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Thanks for watching, and as always I shall see you on the next one.